If you've spent most of your life trying to make everyone around you happy and it's left you feeling drained, well, then this video is for you. Because we have adapted a lot of programming from our past, from our childhood, from our being teenagers. And what it's done is it's created a false sense of self. And believing that our inner happiness, our greatness, who we are meant to be, is dependent on outer events. And the importance that we place on receiving these things. That's what makes a people pleaser. And most times, people pleasers are empaths. And how we became an empath was we inherited from our parents. Or it's the way we were treated when we were younger. And then we developed the empathic qualities of being able to feel other people's energy. And feeling great from getting validation, getting what we want. And then when that thing you're looking for goes missing and you don't get it and you expect to get it, it leaves you feeling emptiness. And then you have to go searching for it, or you have to figure out, what do I need to do to get this validation, to get this approval from you? Because you're feeling whole in love for your life is dependent on this thing that makes you feel emptiness. And what do I need to give to this other individual for me to feel this whole in love? And what does that develop? It develops a people pleaser. And what's happening is, if you're an empath and you develop that from your mom or your dad, or you had a narcissistic parent that you always felt not seen, not approved of, not appreciated enough. You always had to work up to that level. Or it could be the opposite. You could be a child that was given everything you wanted when you wanted it. And it made you expect everything. So when you end up out on your own, us as adults now, whatever age you're at, and you expect all of this stuff to come to you just because you feel like you're entitled to this stuff, whatever the case may be. Every situation is different. And when we don't receive the validation or approval from someone, we need to go to work on that. We need to figure out what's the right way for me to behave with this person, because I don't like the way they're making me feel. And when you don't like the way they're making you feel, instead of people pleasing, sending them energy to give me this thing, text me, come back to me, I want you, is sending that person energy. Even if it's just thought, you're not looking at them with the big eyes like I just did. You are sending them a vibration. You're sending them energy. And what does that energy do when we think like that? And it is a touch from the past. It's a touch from the past, because if your parents either gave you everything and you had just expected the world to be handed to you, you go out into your adult life expecting that. And when you don't get it, then you feel a sense of entitlement, and then you have to manipulate life because you're not willing to feel sad. You're not willing to feel bad. You're not willing to feel unseen, because you have built up a character that believes I should have everything I want when I want it. And when I'm not getting it, I need that from you. And it develops a neediness, a people-pleasing quality. All right? This is a game changer, all right? The first step is when you're being aware of how much you are being a people pleaser. Like, let's say a very attractive girl was being very nice to you yesterday, and you had a great conversation with them, and then you expect them to be very nice to you, smile, and be there for you. But you go to this public place the next day, and they steer away from you. They don't want anything to do. They don't even want to look at you. How would have that made you feel? Well, you would feel like, well, geez, you liked me yesterday. Why can't we talk again today? Or I thought you thought I was attractive, or whatever it was that you thought in your own head when you had that great conversation. But the next day, next week, next month, their energy could feel how much you wanted to have that interaction once again, because we cling to things that feel good. And that conversation with that attractive woman felt good. So you want that back. But the problem is that the dependency on you having this person in your life, or just having a basic conversation, repelled her energy away from you. So what you need to do is bring the energy back to self, bring awareness to how much importance you were placing on having this small chat with the attractive woman, and letting it go, surrendering it, and allowing yourself to feel the garbage feeling that you felt, and let it go and dissipate from the body. But people pleasing, when we can feel other people's energy, imagine that there are 12 people thinking about you in a room. How will that make you feel? I bet it'll make you feel uncomfortable. Just by them thinking about you alone, there's probably going to be some eye contact as well, but you're going to be repelled by that. So imagine when you're placing dependency on someone texting you back, on someone giving you some validation and approval when you see them in person. Imagine how it makes them feel that you're giving them the burden to need to do this thing for you. You're being needy. It's simple as that. How I can openly speak about it? I went through this. I experienced a lot of it. I had parents that gave me everything I wanted when I was younger. It developed an expectancy. It developed when I wasn't getting what I thought I was owed or whatever. I became someone, I took on my mom's energy of being very empathic. She was an empath that would just, when I'd want something, if I was crying, give it to him. If I want this toy at the Wilco, at the time, we had Wilcos back then when I was a child, get him the toy. Stop him from crying. I bet that's even from when I don't remember, from when I was a baby. They probably were doing that to me all through my young years when I lived with them. And then I was always told, oh, you're the spoiled kid from other family members or other kids in my class. And it always made me feel like shit. Like I can't really, I'm just the victim of how everyone felt about me back then. And in my adult relationships, well, I guess I developed the expecting all kinds of shit, all kinds of great relationships, or, you know, and when things wouldn't work out, I always just felt emptiness and not good enough, not attractive enough, or the kid that's not in great shape, like the jocks in class that gets the hot chick. I was always the underdog. But, you know, when I got older and several years ago, before I got into spirituality, I learned to let all of that go. That's why I make videos on feeling a lack of worth, a lack of love for the self. And some people, it may come off as I'm giving toxic positivity. I'm being toxic on my channel, like all of the YouTubers out there. I'm here to give a message, and I don't want this message. So he's a toxic YouTuber making these videos about being positive. They're not realistic because you can't feel love like that. No, I'm not being toxic positive. All that's doing is that video triggered you in a certain way that you don't want to realize the reality. And what it does is it's making you feel about the life that you don't want to look at it that way because you are stuck living in the way that you are. And there's no right or wrong. We're all welcome and entitled to our opinion. But when we are trying to people please, you are going to repel people away from you like a field, because your field of energy, this love, you don't have it within your field. You are looking for it on the outside. Like some of the videos I've made this past week. We are, from our childhood, from our relationships that didn't work out, we're lacking stuff. And when you're coming from a place of lack equals neediness. And when we don't have the things, the feelings, the feeling attractive about your own life, when you get to such a level that you don't need that person's approval, you don't need that person's validation, they will feel that from you. You're not trying to manipulate that from them. You're good. And this is not about living our whole lives alone, being toxic to people to manipulate them back in. This is you feeling whole, complete, and love for your own life. And then choosing to show up in the outer world, in public, as the most loving, liberated version of you. That no longer cares if people judge you, no longer cares if people give you what you want, because you give those things to yourself. And you choose to show up as the person that loves everyone regardless. Because when you are connected to spirit, you are connected to God, you are connected to who you are meant to be. You will enter your natural state of being, which is to be your whole self, to be your most loving natural self. And then you will want to share that love with others like I do on this channel daily. So bring awareness to some of that stuff from your past. Meditate on it. Allow yourself to feel in those energies of whatever your parents and you had as a dynamic, whether it was they gave you everything you want or they didn't give you anything. Because both of them will develop a people pleaser. And you are definitely adapting one of the tendencies from one of your parents. And it's genetically handed down to you. If there is empathic qualities in your mother, your great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, all of that is passed down the line of time. But you can get away from living like that when you bring awareness to it and start to do the inner work with your inner child and what you went through back then. So I thank you for watching this one. We'll see you on the next video.